Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. I'm Hale. We are now less than 90 days away from the next presidential election, where Americans will once again head to their local polling station and cast their vote for their preferred candidate. While a few will choose the third party option, the overwhelming majority will decide between the Republican and Democrat candidates. It's their belief that by participating in the political system through exercising their vote, that therein rests the power to effect change in the nation, a concept accepted even by some of the staunchest Christians. And so it will be either red or blue, as this is what is ingrained in the minds of most Americans, where the political system dictates the options available and party affiliation usually determines how an individual votes. However, as believers, we must not partner with worldly thinking, as it's from a kingdom-first mentality that we should make our choices. We must think again and seek the Lord's direction in this spiritual battlefield, and then act accordingly. Our trust is not in the political system with the supposed gains in personal prosperity it promises. It's to be anchored in God's kingdom and His principles, as He would never ask us to partner with evil to achieve His will. We must not entertain what fear is saying will be lost if one candidate wins or loses. For when we partner with God's kingdom principles, victory is assured. And this is what I heard. Red or blue, red or blue, what are my children to do? Or how can they stand with either party when both openly endorse evil? Yet shall my children still choose to side with one party over the other, irregardless of that fact, and thus maintain their alliance with this corrupt political system? Or will they refuse to bow a knee before this altar made by man, and instead pledge their full allegiance to my kingdom, where their complete devotion belongs to Christ Jesus alone? Then indeed has the church arrived at a crucial moment, where the elect in America must choose which kingdom they shall serve, as this is an either-or decision, for it is not with a divided heart that they can serve me, as it is still true that man is incapable of serving more than one master at a time. Yet even now are more than a few attempting to do just that, as they are knowingly siding with evil in order to achieve the outcome they desire, which is to see their party of affiliation achieve victory. For surely have they put their trust in the political system instead of actually in me, as they assume it is only through that vehicle that I am able to restore back to this nation her former glory. And so is the church in this nation on the verge of giving their consent to be governed, in the spiritual sense, by a heightened level of darkness. For not only are they willing to make concessions on abortion, but also on the practice of homosexuality, both of which I consider abhorrent, and therefore should be shunned by my children. But because the church has already compromised with sinfulness, to see believers supporting a candidate whose party platform is built upon wickedness is to be expected. For if they themselves do not adhere to the standards of holiness, why would they demand it of their elected officials? However, simply because a large portion of the church is willing to compromise with abortion does not mean that I am as well, for I am not. Yet do these believers speak as if I have given my nod of approval on their decision to join with the other appeasers, those who are willing to sacrifice countless innocent lives in order to gain political power. So though these believers may claim to oppose abortion, their actions bear witness to the actual truth, which is that they will gladly leverage the lives of the preborn if it means their preferred party is given the advantage. And so have these children quickly abandoned the principles which govern my kingdom, to instead cater to the demands of evil. Thus do they now stand in solidarity with a political system that fully favors a pro-abortion America, as both red and blue have now merged, becoming singular in purpose, which is to see the people of this nation accept abortion as the societal norm, where an overwhelming majority of the population agree to this vile practice, yet only if done in moderation. Surely then are the lives of this nation's children now in even greater peril, as that firm barrier of protection which long existed has been completely stripped away, leaving the future generations of America utterly exposed and ever more vulnerable to attack from the darkness which seeks their destruction. Thus it would appear that there is no one left who will take up their cause, for now both parties have negated the rights of the preborn, as in their view the life developing in the womb is considered to be less than human, and as such does not retain the same value as those who are already born. Thus should red and blue now be counted as one and the same. And so to the elect in America have I issued the command to abstain, where you refuse to participate in the electoral process and thereby detach yourselves from that corrupt political system. For both red and blue have now openly rebelled against my sovereignty, as indeed has red also abandoned the preborn, choosing instead to follow the course of the truly wicked, and thus has joined forces with evil. And I had a vision, and I saw the opposing forces of light and darkness assembled on the field of battle. The ranks on each side had taken up their positions. Suddenly there was movement amongst the forces of light, and I saw Trump, followed by a large group of people, cross over to the side of darkness, stepping into its ranks and then turning to face the forces of light as opposition. Then to my own do I say, abstention is the only right and true option, for to give credence to either of the two, red or blue, is to give your consent to evil. Therefore, do not attempt to diminish the gravity of this decision by offering excuses to justify your position, should you choose to ignore my command. For there is no argument you can present that shall prove acceptable to me, for surely shall you then be acting in disobedience. And so do I say to my children, abstain, and thus refrain from taking part in the upcoming election. Therefore, it is neither red nor blue that you are to choose. And so again do I say, abstain. Thanks again for joining me today.